Heartfelt gratitude to Swami and the zonal team for providing us this opportunity to serve fellow brothers and sisters. As some of you may recall, Call Sai was launched on November 23rd, 2021 in the US, and we are taking this opportunity to relaunch and increase the awareness about this seva. Call Sai is a, thank you. Call Sai is a confidential helpline that connects the need to resources. The seva is a parallel effort to local centers to address the needs of our brothers and sisters. As you can see from the slide, some of the services that we offer are elder care visits, health and wellness, career guidance, transportation needs, general IT support, etc. The way it works is you dial 272 Call Sai, and after the initial greeting, you enter the zip code where you need the service. The call is routed to a local on-call volunteer who will take down the details and then connect you to a resource who can provide assistance. So a call to folks, the way it works is obviously with volunteers. So we encourage everybody to visit callsai.org and register yourself as a volunteer if you haven't done so that we're able to reach out to you in time of need so you can help fellow members. So as we said, we currently have it in the US, and we plan to talk to the leadership in Canada and the West Indies. And hopefully we'll be able to expand this program this year to those countries as well. We also encourage YAs to join our team and bring in fresh ideas and energy and provide technical and logistical support as needed. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call and talk to us, and we'll be there to listen to you and take your feedback and work on that. If you call and if you don't get a live person answering the call, please, we encourage everybody to leave a voicemail. We'll definitely get back to you. Thank you, and Sairam.
Sairam, everyone. So the cultural integration's objective is to prepare center members to be culturally aware, open, and develop a global vision that will help devotees ultimately see unity in all faiths, cultures, and all people of the world. The committee focuses on Swami's highest dictate to see unity in diversity. So we've had several meetings, many discussions, and we all concluded that this is cultural integration is more fluid than didactic as a process. It consists of doing the sadhana of introspection and self-inquiry, really. One has to be conscious of one's own culturally shaped beliefs, perceptions, and biases by observing oneself, one's reactions when facing another culture or a conflict with a culture, and to reflect upon our reactions. Swami says that culture is not only visible to the senses, it touches our sensibilities, which really, there is the iceberg concept of culture, which, speaks to what Swami says, where there is a top of the iceberg, which is the surface culture and refers to things that the senses can capture, like food, dress, music, literature, language, celebrations. These are easy to deal with. And then there is under the iceberg, under the water, which is more of the deep culture, what goes really unconscious. It relates to personal space, nonverbal communication, body language. And then it goes deeper than that, the tone of voice, the attitude towards elders and dependents, the concept of self. These, the more unconscious they are, the more emotional charge the cultural influences have. So we need to pay attention to what we cannot see. So the methods, what we've done is that we send out a survey to all the centers, and we thank you very much for having participated. We've had wonderful feedback, very creative ideas of how to be more open and to newcomers of different cultures. We will try to centralize it online so people could access it and centers could access it to pool new ideas and go from there. Then a wonderful suggestion has come up, and it's to do a panel discussion. So that is more dynamic, and the panel discussion will consist of about 4 or 5 people who will be asked questions about how they experience the differences in culture, how they see their centers working with that, and give maybe ideas. And the dynamic of a conversation, I think, would be very enriching and become a platform for centers to use, possibly for a study circle or 2. I think we need to really develop in that way. And in conclusion, I just want to actually conclude with a comment that one of our committee members gave that was, I think, summarizes beautifully. But before I just say that, I do want to invite anyone, any group, any committee or members to give their input. If you have ideas, or if you want to join us for some of our meetings, to just, add your input, we would love that. So here is the summary that I appreciated very much. It says the biggest outcome of cultural integration is for devotees to expand their awareness of the divine in all cultures, rather than simply making a center appealing to non-Indians or to whatever dominant culture is part of that center. So here we are, Sairam.
Saram, everyone. So this is the Sri Satya Sai educational program. So we about a year and a half ago, it was discussed that whether we could do a program along the lines that was done in India, which was extremely beneficial for the Sai devotees there. So we thought about piloting a program, which we called the Sri Satya Sai Educational Program, Zone 1. And this program began on February the 12th. So next slide, please. And it consists of 3 courses. So the first course was on the Sai awareness, which is first and foremost thing, understand Swami and what he wants us to do and how he wants us to live our life. So Sri Satya Sai awareness course was the first one. The second course was the Sri Satya Sai values. It always begins with us. So it was first at home and community and then society. And as of today, we have finished the first course. And if you can hit one more, please. Yeah. So for the first course, we had a whopping 223 registered participants. I still recall Akshay and I talking and said, let's pilot it with 60 registrants. But then we had a lot of interest there, and we had 9 guest speakers, and we had very stringent, we did it more like a university style course. So there was homework and they had to do the homework. So not all could participate in the 9 sessions we had, but about 162 participants completed the course in all respects. So we gave them certificates. For the rest, we gave them certificates of participation. Can you hit one more return, please? And the second course, which is running as of today, we had the 8th session of the second course today. We had 115, we have 115 registered participants, and we'll see how many will finish. So going back to the next slide. Yeah, going back to the first course, amazingly, what we found is right from the first session, there was Swami's hand in it, in the sense that after every session, the participants would send us acronyms which captured the essence of that session. For example, in the first session, there was a discussion about faith in Swami. It's an awareness course. And one of the acronyms with, fearlessly, always, I trust him, FAITH. And that caught on like, anything, and it snowballed. And for every session, we had beautiful, very creative acronyms submitted by participants. And as an example, what I'm showing you here on this screen is an acronym for the Sri Sathya Sai educational program itself. For example, if you see Satya, SATHYA, service to man is service to God. And you can do that only when you're always cheerful and always you believe that there's only one religion, the religion of love. And you also have to realize that, hands that serve are holier than lips. And then you will have the feeling that you are in the light, then the light is in you, and then you and light are one. So like that, you can actually weave a story around these acronyms, which then captured the essence of the session. So this is the other part for awareness and course. Next slide, please. And we finished course 1, and at the Guru Purnima 2022, those who completed the course were given the certificates, which you see on the screen. Next slide, please. So how can we now share these resources with other zones? Moving forward, this is what we were trying to address. And likewise, how can we capture these discussions so that they can be developed into useful study materials for the sessions? So with that, I thank all my committee members who are listed on the screen. Saira.
Sairam, everybody. Humble pranams to the Swami and all of you. And on behalf of our 9-member green team, I'm presenting what we've done since Swami's birthday in 2021 when this team was initiated. And this is a beautiful website. If none of you have gone there, please do, because there are a lot of information there. The green team, which consists of all of the people from the US, including YAs, as well as West Indies and Canada. And there are a lot of events on that slide and lots and lots of resources with regards to environmentally friendly supplies, etc. We started off on getting the word out, and we started out trying to get the YA and the SSSE in. So we did wordles, jumbles, crossword puzzles. And then next what we did was we did green tips of the week. So if you're on Instagram, or you can get on and subscribe to Instagram, we have several green tips of the week, just catchy single messages that you can do for the week, for the month, for the year, whatever that you choose to do. Next, we also started doing some specific events that, to particular days that were special to us. So the Aradhana Day, we talked about the SSSGC, simple and small steps that we take for a greener and greater changes to a better world. And after that, we also, next slide, please, went on to the Guru Purnima Day and Ishwarama Day, where we talked about several water projects. Next slide, please. And Guru Purnima Day, a lot of earth-related projects with regards to recycling, garden, etc. And for Swami's birthday, we initiated a pledge to do different things. So we said, can we do for 97th birthday, can we do a 97-day challenge? And it was in different sectors. So you could pick one, or you could put 97 challenges and offer that for Swami's birthday. And here are some of the pictures that I've gathered that were sent to the team. There's a kayaking and lake cleaning activity in Austin. These are all SSSE projects, the Walk for a Cause in Houston, and the tree planting efforts where we did 36 trees. And there are some of the energy saving projects that the kids did and sent to the website. Next, please. And here's for Swami's birthday, several of the Centers actually did zero waste at the center event in Sacramento. They did greening life at home projects like cleaning bottles, etc., which we put up on the website, as well as the tree planting activities in different regions. Here's the greening life from Jacksonville. And they also went forward to do a very, very green altar. And we're very proud to offer that for Swami's birthday. So what are we going to do for 2023? Where do we go from here? We want to reach out to all the centers, we see a lot of centers now that we saw the map in the East Coast, and we'd love to have participation from there. So we're going to reach out to all the Center Council members, engage the service coordinators and the YA. We're going to pray to Swami and help heal the earth. The pray would be to pledge to go green and plan ahead, or to think of all the R's for daily life, A, to act with love towards nature, and Y, to yes to green always. And that's the only way we can help the environment and act with love. So this is a pledge that was sent to me from one of the centers in California, and it was beautiful. And I thought this is a pledge that all of us should take, if not by this birthday, at least by the centenary, and do what we are asking. And the pledge here is on this slide, and beautifully, next slide, please. That's the last slide, I think. If you can play that. The SSC people put a play for Swami's birthday, and at the end of it all, it's probably not playing, which is okay. If you go to the previous slide, all of the kids and the center members took this pledge, all of them together in front of Swami's altar. And they said, I pledge to live a more sustainable lifestyle. I will consider environmental, social, and economic impacts of my daily decisions. I will make every effort to be responsible in these areas to save Mother Earth. And I will ensure that all center events and activities are environmentally friendly. Beautiful act by them, which we all should take up and follow. So the last slide again gives you our green team efforts. If you would like to join, we would love to have you, especially the East Coasters. This is a call for more volunteers from your region. And Jai Sai Ram. Thank you, Swami.
Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Right. So when we're looking for making a mission statement, I strongly believe that we don't really need to look further than Swami's quotes alone. They are adequate in setting not only the mission statement, but also provide the guidance. I'm not going to read through the entire quote, as we all have photographic memory. I'm going to just highlight a couple of things there. So you can see, do not restrict, be alert to the call from everywhere, and so on and so forth. So the highlighted ones, I believe, are going to be the one that will set the action plan going forward. So do not restrict your service. So anywhere in zone 1, wherever there is need, and be alert to the call from everywhere. So that goes even beyond zone 1. And be ready. How can we be ready? So we need to have a team, a strong team, have a plan, and have communications already developed and everything. So looking for opportunities. So we always have to be keeping our eyes open, ears open for where can be our services be put in use. So to serve and to collaborate and so on and so forth. So next one that you see there is, how does this process of HRCs, in short for Humanitarian Relief Committee. So you can see all those little dots there. That is the committee that will comprise of all the members from various walks of life, preferably the service coordinators, the other committee chairs. For example, Call Sai committee helped us tremendously in one of the recent events that happened in Florida, Hurricane Ian. And maybe PAVE committee, maybe some other committees and all that stuff. And needless to say, we definitely need people with special skills in trades and home building and repairs and technology and medical first aid and that sort of things. And the committee decides where we can serve better, and then they take it to the zonal chair's approval. And then with the approval of the chair, then goes to the national president, and then goes to the area coordinator, and finally reaches the affected community. It is very important to have protocol. It is not about one particular team making decisions and all that, but it establishes an order, it establishes a clarity, and eliminates confusion and chaos down the line. So it is a process, and it's only for the efficiency side. So there are a few recent activities by the committee taken up. You can see supplies delivery to Hurricane Ida victims. This happened in 2021, Cat 4 hurricane in Louisiana. And then quite a few efforts were made in coordination with UK teams in providing food and medical supplies, and even including mobile ambulances to Ukraine and Eastern European countries. And Sri Lanka was another country where we have gone beyond Zone 1 to help out in their time of need. So call for volunteers, like the way we were talking about. We definitely need service coordinators and national and regional officers. I'm going to have one-on-one talks with all the national service coordinators and the regional officers to get their support and get their wisdom incorporated into the committee proceedings and actions. And young adults, they bring the energy and enthusiasm. We need all that. And we are looking forward to filling some of these member positions, active member positions with the young adults, and preferably even a vice chair position, so that we create that system of passing down and continuity. And experience in disaster management is a very important thing that goes in line with probably providing online CERT training that is not only just for serving somebody else outside our own communities, but also for our own individual self health and safety and first aid and all those things. These are all important skill sets that one should have. And unless otherwise we are certified, we cannot really go out there and do effective disaster management or relief efforts in the community. That is a must. So going forward, we're going to be focusing quite a bit on that one. And finally, the qualification is nothing but willing and able to serve. And I request all of you to keep looking out for more details as they become available on our website. And I'm finally going to leave it with a quote from Swami. Unity is the secret of social progress, and so service to society is the means to promote it. Thank you, Sarah.
Sairam, everyone, offering my loving pranams to Swami, and thank you all for the opportunity. So as we know, Swami actually, as many others have said, Swami says everything we need to know. And so he specifically talks about women in a very special way, as you can see from the quote. So he talks about the feminine being the foundation on which a peaceful and happy world is raised. And he says that past, present, or future, for all time, women are the backbone of progress, the heart of the nation, and the very breath. And so these are really profound words. And as we all know, in 1969, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba started the Mahila Vibhag, or the Ladies' Wing, as part of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization in India. The goal was to engage women as Balvikas gurus and to lead societal transformation through the awakening of human values in children, and to encourage women's participation in devotional and seva activities. He really awakened all devotees to the special character qualities and attributes that women possess. So love and compassion and sacrifice and determination and forbearance. Just to name a few, can you go back to the previous slide, please? Thank you. And constantly emphasize the critical role of women in society. In 1995, of course, Swami declared that November 19th would henceforth be recognized as Ladies' Day going forward. And so I'm particularly delighted that in 2021, the Ladies' Wing was officially established in the SSSGC Zone 1, and it's a very exciting development. So next slide, please. So just the progress that we've sort of made so far. Initially, we started by researching best practices from the Ladies' Wing in India and in other countries. We formulated and conducted a survey of ladies in Zone 1. And so thank you so much for all of you who responded to our survey, because we wanted to really capture everybody's voice in the activities that we highlight and the way that we go about this. We then spent quite a lot of time thinking about some of the major questions that women are faced with and formulating study modules based on Swami's words in various ways. We created the framework for the Ladies' Wing in Zone 1, which was recently shared with you all. And now we're planning for the inaugural Zone 1 Ladies' Wing retreat. Next slide, please. So when we look, I'd like to just, and one more click, please. Just wanted to acknowledge, and one more, acknowledge all of the members of the Ladies' Wing committee at the zonal level who have been really hard at work in formulating all of this work. So next slide, please. So the mission of our wing is to understand, embrace, and share the teachings of Swami, to empower women to blossom to their full potential in all aspects of life and in the multitude of roles that we fulfill. And then the vision is to inspire and empower women to cultivate the awareness of their innate divinity and to practice and model our human values. I like to say that Swami is actually the biggest feminist I know, and it is important, I think, for all of us to understand how and why. His teachings really lead us to question the meaning of words like fearlessness and freedom and power, the way that they are understood in society in general, to question that and understand what these words actually truly mean, by turning our vision inward rather than outward, and thereby awakening us to the gifts that have already been placed within us. Next slide. So the Ladies' Wing is envisioned to be a body of women devotees within the greater body of each Sri Satya Sai Center, who enjoy the sisterhood and camaraderie that are encompassed by sharing satsangs, experiences, learnings, and particularly practical application of Swami's teachings, because we can't just stop with learning what they are, but they have to be really practically applied in our lives. So the Ladies' Wing is really envisioned. You can see that there is the Ladies' Wing Committee, which sort of advises the zonal chair and the leadership. But the Ladies' Wing itself is envisioned to be part of each center and to encompass devotional, seva, and educational activities within the existing center. And thus, it is actually a subset of the center body, and members take part in all of the regular center activities as well as the activities of the Ladies' Wing. It should be noted that the establishment of this wing is optional at each center level rather than compulsory. And what it is not meant to do is function as a parallel center. So it is part of each center, but really geared to some of the things that women may enjoy and geared to raising awareness of what lies within each of us. Next slide. So, and on to the Ladies' Wing retreat that is being planned for April 15th and 16th of this year. We're very excited and hard at work preparing for this. The theme is going to be faith and forbearance, which are two qualities that Swami greatly emphasizes in women. And the idea is to explore how these things inform everything that we do as women and as human beings in the society. So it will involve certainly a guest speaker or two, workshops. We hope to have a panel discussion across multi-generations seva activities, videos of various things, and then include things like arts and crafts or formation of a recipe book, which is always very popular. New things like having a poetry workshop and addressing women's health. So next slide, please. So yeah, mark your calendars. And then establishing a ladies' wing at the center level. Again, as I said, we have circulated the framework that we think. In that framework were also the results of the survey that we conducted across Zone 1. So we hope that this will form a nidus for further discussion at the center level and formation of a ladies' wing, which will be under the sort of auspices of the center committee and potentially with a center lead that can foster the activities. We really envisage this to include women of all ages, 18 and over. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other across generations and a lot of ways that we can inspire each other to truly live and practice Swami's teachings in everything that we do in all aspects of life. So with that, I'll end. Thank you for your attention, and Jai Saram.
Sairam, everybody. It's my honor to represent and present the information from the media committee. So the goal of our media team is to go one step closer to Swami or travel inwards. And how do we do this? Is what we are trying to do is, curate all the various tools and social media platform that we have, trying to put everything under a Global Council's umbrella, and which will help, at an individual sadhana and at a community sadhana at center level, feeding various wings of our center, devotion, service, and SSE, and thereby it helps us travel inward at an individual level. And it means this is also for even the media team as well. We are learning as we move forward on this path. So that is something, the goal we have set as to travel inward. And with having said that, so the media team, we have so many moving parts on the team, and with Swami's grace, have got a very dynamic team, and we have blocked set into various blocks. The work that we do at the center of it is the core. Then we have the social wing, the web team, the print, the visual, and the magazine and the broadcast team. At the core, we have various activities that we do. We have these GoDaddies where all our websites are being hosted, and we have various Google Forms that we have been using to manage the data. And centralized data is something we are aiming so that we have a uniformity in curating the data. And the database management is a big thing that is we are handling, and all the external communication that goes outside our GWS management. MailChimp is what we are using for uniformity. And GWS stands for Google Workspace, that with Swami's grace, we have got an account and we are managing all the email handles for various national and regional accounts. So it gives some kind of, uniformity. And next we have web section. In this web, we have websites, SEO, then the security, then the QA, and the content management. There's a lot of activities that are happening in this particular block. And next we have is print media. And print, we have brochures, banners, and scarves. We have Swami's Parthi pilgrimage or any other events within the zone or region. If there is any help that is required in terms of planning and giving you some kind of inputs, and if there are any reusable components that we have, you could piggyback and make use of them at a center, regional, and national level. So that's another area here we have. And the next we have the visual media, where we create a lot of flyers, logos. Then we have videos, photos, and PowerPoint slides. Again, we have some of those templates that we can center or regional, national can leverage from all those reusable components that we have, and we'll be very happy to support. And magazine, this is where we have Silights. Silights is a very important component that we started last year or whenever the Global Council was formed. And with Swami's grace, we have offered 4 such volumes at Swami's feet in Prasanthi Nilayam. And thanks to a lot of devotees and all the centers, regional and national team who have contributed to the Silights. And Google Books is a new initiative. We are just trying to get some of those materials available on Google Books platform, and we'll see the future steps. You'll see some communication around that. And next we have broadcast media. This is another very important area for us to communicate Swami's message uniform across various platforms. YouTube is one such thing we have taken. And education program, course management, my team has been working hand in glove with Brother Raja's team and helping them deliver the program, be it the setting up the calls and certificate printing, emailing, and all those kind of additional help. And we also have a Fire TV app that has been built, and you can watch all the YouTube videos right on your TV in your living room. And of course, Zoom is a tool that we are using to use a lot of these activities to relay. And that has come very handy for us. And last but not the least, the social media, we have various accounts here for now: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is something we just launched where we want to communicate Swami's message on man management, other things to professionals who may not be Swami's devotees, but will be attracted to Swami's teachings. They are like, no-brainer teachings. And Telegram is already existing, and Smule is a tool that we just started so that we wanted to encourage bhajan singing for everybody. And where the Smule bhajan singing video is optional, you can just even sing, audio. And we have beautiful team, YAs especially are taking very active role here. And they are helping us bring this, so that's another way we can communicate and enjoy singing bhajans on this platform. So next, on the websites, a team has been extremely working hard, and when we look back, we can't really imagine that we have pulled this many websites in a very short span of time and offered it Swami's feet. And of course, all this material is available on the website. Eventually, you will be given access to this. You can see them. And some of these are like, an example for the brochures, the flyers, logos, and other various things that the media team has churned out. And another important aspect in the media team that we are currently putting a lot of energy is to make sure that we grow organically. If you Google Global Council at this point of time, it may not be the top of your search results, but eventually we are building a lot of back-end muscle that we are building, and it will come wherein when you type Global Council or Satyasai, our organization will come on top of our search fields. And these are some snapshot of the Silights magazines that we have offered to Swami. These are the 4. And the 5th one, just the announcement has gone out, and you please look out the email from the center president, where we have given detailed instructions on how to submit an article. And please, if you have not seen that email, please do look at that email and go ahead and submit your contribution. And there are some future initiatives that we are currently working on that. And some of you are aware that we have a website called SciTunes, and that SciTunes we are trying to bring in a mobile format, where it'll be easy for devotees to search the bhajan, get the lyrics, and also we're trying to build that feature in Alexa, where you can probably sit in your living room and ask Alexa to play a bhajan. It will play a bhajan. And these are some bells and whistles we are trying to bring, so that, like I said, the goal is to help any devotee, including us, to go one step closer to Swami. And Locate Sai Center is a new feature that we have added in our zonal website. And eventually that will be showing up even in the regional, the national websites as well. And you can, once we get this app out, you can search on your mobile app, like, hey, look, I want to see a Sai center close to my zip code within 5 miles, whatever it is. It will show up all those Sai centers. If you're traveling, it can, set your location and it will show the nearest Sai centers within 5 miles or 10 miles within your range. And also you can ask Alexa to show the Sai centers within 5 miles or 10 miles within the range. So those are the things we are trying to build and make things a little easy. And the success of our team is pretty much here. There are so many volunteers that have been extending their service in this media team, and we all are tied to hip, very closely tied to the hip. And our team is always ever ready for anything. Even if we don't know, we will get a solution. So we are learning as we move forward on this. And one of the highlight for our team is transparency. So especially we make sure that we have open communication and bidirectional communication, which means bidirectional. I made sure that each of my team member in this media has direct connection with Akshay or whoever it is, making sure that there is transparency and there is communication. And if for some reason, if I'm not available, there is no single point failure, that kind of system that we have built. And my team have full access to Akshay or anybody for that matter, and they are empowered to make decision in my absence, or even otherwise. I encourage my team to make the decisions and move forward. And because, the accountability is there always. We are not doing to satisfy anybody, but we are here to do and make him happy. So each one of us have that personal sadhana that, we are connected to Swami, and we move forward. And while we are moving forward as a team, we want to be mindful of each other's, skill set, limitations, and also some family conditions, and based on, the availability. And we would like to put ourselves in their shoe and see if we have to, look from their perspective and make a valid decision. So this has worked really well. And with Swami's grace, the team has been moving forward and putting a lot of effort and bringing so many artifacts up to place and, offering them to Swami. So there are lots of activities that are in pipeline. Like I said, we are moving to kind of a mobile app application, that kind of, strategy moving forward. Anybody who's interested to extend their service or bring some skills up to the table, please feel free to send an email to my email address, and we will be happy to have you on the team and see how best we could make use of it. And with this, I offer our gratitude on behalf of the team to Swami, and thank everybody for helping us progress and move forward. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, everyone. My humble pranams to the lotus feet of Bhagwan. I just thought I'll go through our medical organization. Our executive committee of SSSGC appointed us for a medical committee members, which consisted of Akshay, myself, and Dr. Gautam. And I am, of course, the medical camp director. Can you go back to the last one, please? I just want to say a few words about Dr. Gautam. He's a cardiologist from Nepal, who has been extremely helpful to us in setting up the medical camps in Prashanti Nilayam. He's been helping us with Nepalese doctors, nurses, and setting up the intensive care unit. So we've been able to get going with our medical camps in Prashanti Nilayam. I just want to mention his name. He's been extremely helpful. Next slide. Of course, for SSSGC Zone 1 Medical Committee, again, my name appears as the zone chair. Under this, we have the regional medical directors, Unfortunately, we have only 4 directors and we would like to expand this. The first number is the zone assigned to these regional directors, but we are giving them additional zones at this time. However, I would like to see more doctors getting interested and joining this group so that we can expand to all the regions. Next. As you all know, last year, within a short period of time, we got the green light from SSSGC Medical Council to go ahead with the camp in Prashanti Nilayam. And we were able to do very well with our Guru Purnima camp. We had about 26 doctors participated. We saw about 2,056 patients. We had pharmacists, we had nurses, we had volunteers, about 50 of them. It was a wonderful camp with all specialty, most of the specialties represented. We were very concerned about the pandemic. As a result, we had 2 stations outside to prevent people coming into the campsite with COVID. That worked very well. We did have some COVID breakout, but it was well contained. And this gave us really a lot of energy to go forward with our birthday camp. Of course, the Central Trust and SSSGC Council was very, very helpful in giving us these wonderful sites. We had this at N1 and the accommodation office, the Central Trust, the volunteers were very, very helpful. You can see the pictures of all the doctors on this picture. And again, it was a wonderful camp. This made us go forward with the birthday camp, which was, of course, a very difficult camp because it was a 8-day camp and we needed a lot of doctors and nurses and volunteers. We fortunately got help from our Indian counterpart, and then the SSS Global Council came up with this idea of merging both the international camp and the Indian camp together, which was extremely helpful, especially for us. The Indian camp, unfortunately, was located in a very far-off place called DD2, which did not really have access to patients. Our N1 site was very accessible, and we were able to see about 7,900 patients. And the rest of the patients were seen at the Indian camp. And we had 31 doctors. I would like to see a lot of US physicians participating in these camps. Not because Swami wants you to participate in this camp, because you have to come there because you want to be a better doctor in your life. Because that is the place where you are taught how to be loving, how to be compassionate, and that environment is so beautiful, and you can carry that vibration back to your own hometown, where you can practice this in your own office and then expand into your own community. And that's why I encourage a lot of physicians to participate in this camp. Right now, we are having a lot of Indian doctors participating in our camps too. But remember, Indian doctors do medical camps on a weekly basis. And they have a lot of access and they don't have all these legal problems. So they can do camps anywhere. For our international physicians, it's usually very difficult. But if you come to the medical camps in Prashanti Nilayam, you can learn how to do these camps and then expand on that. And Swami is going to be your guide. Now, since those 2 camps that it has given me a lot of strength in extending these camps locally here. Initially, because of the pandemic, we were in a standstill for almost 3 years. Now we have been able to open up in our own community, and that has been the testing ground, and we were very successful in doing our dental treatment camps, which was very successful last October. And we also did a personal hygiene camp, which was also successful. And so it has given us a lot of ideas to go forward and open up basically all the camps. So I urge the doctors to come forward and be part of these medical camps, and also expand into in our own community. And I want to say that both these camps were funded by our SSSGC Foundation. They might have given us the benefit of funds, but Swami was the power behind all this, and he actually ran these 2 camps. And I thank Swami immensely for this. And thank you, and Sairam.
A few things about the Social Justice Committee, what we have and what we are planning to do going forward. Mainly, I wanted to start by saying thank you to Swami for giving us this opportunity and for this inspiration. I also want to thank Akshay and the other leadership from Zone 1 for recognizing that this is an unmet need in the PSI organization, and to give a platform and a forum for people who are interested in this committee. So just want to start with that. Our committee right now has 6 or 7 members. We have, along with me, and we have members from Canada and the West Indies. Also, right now we have quite a few young adults, which is great, and I also enjoy that, since I'm also the National Young Adult Advisor for the US. But it is open to people of all ages and stages, so we welcome everyone to be part of this committee. I just have 4 or 5 slides with you today, so we can go on to the next slide, and I'll share a few things from there. The main thing I want to talk about is the purpose and the vision of this. Some people would say, why do we need this social justice committee? There was some, I think in the past, when people have talked about social justice in the PSI Center context, there might be some current concern of, oh, are we getting people to become too activist or this kind of thing? But really, it's not like that. It's the purpose and the vision that we have for this committee is to use Bhagwan's teachings to help understand and guide us on various social issues in the communities around us. You hear so much that I hear from young adults, I hear it from other people too, that there's all these things going on in the world around us, and how do we use Swami's teachings as a base to understand what's going on around and to guide our own actions on a personal level. Importantly, this is proactive and it's not reactive. It's not based on any particular news that, oh my goodness, I remember in 2020, there's a lot of talk about, oh my goodness, what happened with George Floyd, or what's happened recently in Memphis. Swami's teachings are eternal. Our understanding of them should be based on those eternal teachings, and we should learn how to apply them to what's going on in the world around us. But our committee will not be lurching from this happened to that happened in the news, because the teachings themselves are the focus. The other thing I want to mention is this is bottom down or bottom up, because it's based on the interest and the needs at the center and the individual level. We're providing tools to help people have constructive conversations. What are ways to guide our introspection about how we understand issues going around us, about, let's say, privilege and, where we fit into society? What are people's roles and equality and race and all these things that happen? Importantly, the same way it is bottom up, it's not top down, where this committee or the organization, as some of you may have experienced in the past, wants to shut down conversations or tell people, here's the right answer, this is the right Swami quote for this situation. Because ultimately each of us has our own understanding of Swami's teachings, and instead of shutting down conversations that are likely to happen anyway, why not embrace Swami's teachings in the world around us and say, here's how we can use Swami to understand our relationship with the world around us. And again, to the third point, you've heard me say this twice already, that this is 100% based on the teachings of Bhagwan. It's based on spirituality and human values, universal human values, not on politics or division, or this isn't a place to debate political issues. This is a place to understand. So those are the purpose of our committee. Let's move to the next slide. There's a Swami quote which I'm going to leave there. I think everyone can read it, so I'm not going to leave a moment for you all to read it. But again, I want to focus that the action item for us is on self-transformation. I like to keep it simple, that the focus, let's say a lot of times hear Swami talk about love all, serve all. We focus on the love and we focus on the service, and we think of service projects and what can we do out in the society. Really, another place to focus is on the all, that how do we define the all around us? How do we understand? And how do we understand how we relate to the all that's around us? And again, down below, as I say, we focus on studying, discussing, applying Bhagwan's teachings to various social issues in society. We've talked about climate, healthcare, gender, race equality. All of these things are important. They're important to us in our daily lives, and it's important that we understand how to understand Swami's teachings, explore those for ourselves. And there's not going to be one right answer for everyone, but we will help provide those tools and all. So thank you. Next slide. Ideas for programs. Again, the committee started a year and a half ago, but we've been having internal discussions, and I know everyone was busy between whether it was COVID or things going on in the organization, and I think everyone was zoomed out for a while, but I think we have ideas for going forward. What are the types of things we can do? We have ideas for panel discussions or interviews really based on practical application. We could facilitate conversations, help people learn how to facilitate these conversations, because again, like we said, we don't want this to be a debate society or anything like that, but book clubs, non-traditional study circles, these were unmet needs that we had before in the SCI organization. And this is the ways that we can help embrace those and move forward there too. Again, we could also lead to other ideas that I've heard from other committees also, and these are things that we can collaborate on those at the central level. Next steps. Main thing is, first thing is we need additional members. So I would strongly encourage, if anyone's interested in this committee, if it's something that speaks to you, please reach out to me, and we can see how we can make a broader based group, because a committee is only going to be as strong as the members who are part of it. We'd love to have a diversity of ages, the country, geography, professional backgrounds. It really is open to everyone. We're also very mindful that we're all volunteers, so this is a labor of love. We try not to be too stressful on people's time and energy, and we want people to be interested and interesting in what they do. And we have plans for 2023. We want you to be part of that. And again, this is a blank canvas, so we encourage innovation and what are the things that we can do going forward. So thank you. That's all I have for you. My contact information is below, and then looking forward to a great 2023. Sairam.
Sairam, Swami, please speak through me. Just as valuable ornaments are hidden in an iron safe, within the human body lie the valuable jewels of human values. Baba, next slide, please. Based on this message from Baba, we have formed the subcommittee known as SSSPAVE, PAVE, which is Sri Satya Sai Program for Awareness of Human Values and Educare. Primary focus is to outreach into communities. We have underlined this because our main objective is to spread Swami's message on human values in the community. So Swami has provided us with such a wonderful opportunity, and we should be grateful for the opportunity. Next slide, please. How we started. We had the opportunity of interacting with numerous senior devotees in human value programs around the world. There were a number of devotees who had interacted with Swami. Swami told them, preached them, taught them how to conduct the human values program. And we had interacted with all of them, and they were so willing to share their lesson plans and their ideas and all to us. And so based on that, we had our first orientation program on human values for about 40 participants from Canada, West Indies, and US. And subsequently, we had 5 Saturdays of human value jumpstart program for about 27 people. To be just to add, we have about 5 members in the PAVE committee, and we have 2 programs basically. One is AHV, we call Awareness of Human Values, and the next is the ACT, Academic Coaching and Tutoring. Next slide, please. How do we outreach? Since we have mentioned in the first slide that our basically our intention is to spread Swami's message in the community, we created a website exclusively for the external community, which is universal and neutral. We launched such a website, ssspave.org. Kindly visit our website, ssspave.org. We have some videos there. We have our focus, our objectives, everything is mentioned there. So please do visit it. Next slide, please. Now, our current human value projects are in US. We have conducted human values programs in Greater Phoenix area for organization like Black Mothers Forum, who are in the process of keeping their children off from the street. We're also helping Hispanic children in academic tutoring in collaboration with Neighborhood Ministries, a Catholic organization in Phoenix, Arizona. In Trinidad, they're doing a wonderful job. Ongoing human value classes continues age 5 to 10 years. And these kids, they are doing a wonderful job. Not only they learn what is human values, but their parents assisted in preparation and cooking of hot meals for the homeless people in the city of Port of Spain. And human value children with parents spend a day with orphans. They provide food, clothes, and gifts. And any activity that they do, there is also always a human value perspective in whatever they do. Human value kids save their own money. Imagine, I was surprised when I heard this in Trinidad. They saved their own money and purchased care packages for homeless people on 2 occasions. That is the human value shared with children and put into practice. Next slide, please. Of course, service rendered to children is the most sacred. Next slide, please. Our current ACT projects are academic coaching and tutoring. We currently have 26 tutors comprising of high achieving high school children from among our SSC classes, young adults and professionals. 3 sessions of training on best practices in tutoring have been conducted for tutor volunteers. The session has been recorded and shared with a lot of volunteers. The Raleigh Center in North Carolina are already a robust tutoring program for the Durham School District. For more than 5 years, they have been doing this. And in New Jersey, we have started off with CASA Freehold School District, where whose help they were able to connect with a few children, and virtual tutoring is going on. Next slide, please. So this is in Arizona. We have 8 volunteers, New Jersey 15, and North Carolina 90. And these are the children we are helping, grade 1 to 10. Next slide, please. In the pipeline, Arizona, introduction and tutor offering information submitted to the community program district of Mesa School District. We are awaiting response. California, initial conversation with the service coordinators. And Texas, we are in touch with Wheatley HS Houston, Texas school so that we can conduct such program. Planning underway. Swami willing, in the community, we are planning to conduct parenting workshop, parents having high school going children in each region of US, Canada, and Trinidad. We are also planning to conduct human value program for medical professionals. Again, this is in the community. Subsequently, we are also planning a human value program for teachers. Committees for all these programs have already been formed. And if we are not very ambitious, Swami willing, we are planning to have the human value program for corporate organizations in US, and a program for law professionals in Trinidad, and a government sponsored program in Canada, cultivating moral values through yoga also. Next slide, please. Who's with us? Our core committee is interacting with the regional service coordinators. We have already been in contact with them, and they are excellently helping us, and thanks to them, and also the young adult advisors and coordinators. Next slide, please. What can you all do? Please, people who are listening to us, you all can play any of the roles. Tutor the children, identify organizations where help is needed. You can spread the message to your friends. If you're interested in conducting human value, please do contact us. Please do visit our website, sssspave.org, and contact us by sending your request. Next slide. Thank you so much. Please remember, PAVE, SSS PAVE is a path of love. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam, everyone who has joined here. I first thank Swami for giving us an opportunity to play a small role in furthering the awareness of Vedas among all the Sai centers. As you all know, in the permanent charter, the first statement says that Swami's advent is for establishment or re-establishment of Sanatana Dharma, and Vedas contain the principles of Sanatana Dharma, and Swami has encouraged in many instances through many of the Vahinis that we have to give importance to the Vedas. And this is an area where which has not taken off in a big way in a prominent way in the North America or in Zone 1. And in the past 2 years, we have made efforts to create awareness among all the centers and devotees, the importance of Vedas through various activities. Just to give you a brief overview of what we hope to, what our focus is. We want to encourage all devotees the practice of listening to Vedic chants on a regular basis, even if they do not know how to chant. Then we would like to encourage anyone who is interested to learn to chant the Vedic mantras. And the third one is to understand the principles and the inner significance of the Vedic chants and put them into practice in our lives. And also we want to make people aware of Swami's teachings in relation to Vedas to the extent possible. We have tried to organize a few activities through which we have striven to make progress in these objectives. We have had a few panel discussions and talks under the title Vedas Through Sai Lens last year. We had also organized panel discussions on Vedic prayers and yajnas as a precursor to the national program, which was organized by the Trinidad organization over 3 days, so that we could bring Vedas in a prominent way into North America. And we had invited Brother Vedanarayanan from Puttaparthi to come, and he took part and officiated the function. This year, we are planning to organize something similar in Canada also, and we hope to do something in the US next year. These are all in preparation for the 100th centenary celebration of Swami's Advent. And we would like to make sure that whenever the Central Trust organizes some Vedic function as part of the centenary celebration, that Zone 1 will be an active participant in those planning and so on. In addition to these, we are also in touch with the organizations and the people involved in propagating Vedic learning in India. And we are trying to collaborate with them to come up with some programs where we can provide workshops for Vedic chanting trainers, and also bring some insight into the Vedic mantras for anyone who is interested. These are activities which we hope to see fructify in the next year or two, in this year and next year in various ways. That's all I had to share with you. And I thank again Swami for giving us an opportunity to do our little bit in seeing that the knowledge of Vedas flourish in Zone 1. Sai Ram.